Hi, this is Mahesh Kosuri. Here we are going to discuss data warehousing and especially related to the SAP BW or SAP data warehouse. SAP BW or data warehouse. SAP business warehouse or data warehouse we are going to talk of. Before going to discuss of technical aspects of data warehouse, SAP data warehouse or SAP business warehouse, let us first focus on the business scenario. Why do they need this kind of application? Okay, before going in depth, first I'm telling you here this course is only for the freshers who are really interested in SAP and who are interested in the data warehouse concepts. Okay, here we are, as I said, like here we are going to discuss of data warehouse, right? See, if you take any business scenario, any business if you take, let us focus on very small size, is just our neighborhood general store. Okay, let us start with our neighborhood general store first. So, in your neighborhood general store, generally what they do some purchases, right? And they maintain the sales also. And of course, there may be some returns, right? So these are everyday daily transactions. Just if you consider very small ownership firm, if you extend that firm to certain level, say they are having 10 stores and uh, they are having employees also, then their salaries also come into picture, right? These purchases, sales, returns, salaries, and of course, if we consider the 10 members, 10 employees, then 10 stores also will be there, right? And store location will be there, store information will be there, employees are there. What are the assets now? The company is having assets in the sense what are the who are there working employees we are telling, right? And they have some stores, and when they have stores they should have some products, right? They sell the products, and whom they will sell to the customers. So every day they sell, right? So every day in the sense time, right? Time also they need. And what else? So these are all the things generally they see in their everyday life, right? Now, if you look at their system, I mean business system, not the software. Business system, they maintain one purchases ledger and sales ledger they maintain, returns ledger they maintain, salaries ledger also they maintain. So they maintain all the ledgers. They record all the transactions. Okay, these are the purchases. These are the items we have purchased today from particular vendor or from supplier, what price we have bought, we have purchased, what date we have purchased, what is its invoice number, any GST is there. So this all the kind of information you can see in the purchase invoices. In the same way, sales, if you look at the sales bill, in the sales bill also they maintain all the items, right? What are the items they sold to the customer? All the items they maintain, and they against the each item they maintain the amount. If any discounts are there, that information also they maintain. So everyday transactions, these are all right. The same way returns also. For returns also they give you one slip, one pay one return slip, right? If you go to any store, if you return something, what you brought from there previously, so they give you the return slip also. So for everything they maintain the ledger and they maintain the records. Now all this data they want to maintain in the system. Whatever the data is there, whatever the daily transactions are there, they want to maintain in the system. Here they want to maintain in the system in the sense they want to maintain all the transactions in the system. At the same time, at the same time they want to store their entire information for long period. Everyday transactions, right? Everyday transactions they maintain. At the same time, these transactions they want to maintain for the longer periods, another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or 100 years, like that they want to maintain. So they want to utilize this data later for their analysis purpose. That's why we classify these systems, everyday transactions. Generally, what we do, what they do, they maintain for everyday transactions, they maintain one system. Generally, we call it as OLTP systems, online transaction processing system. We call it as, they call it as, not we, they named it as OLTP, online transaction processing system. They named it as. How they design the system is different matter. Later we discuss. Okay. And now in this OLTP system, what they maintain the purchases, sales they maintain, and returns they maintain, and employee salaries they maintain, right? So if purchases are there, then definitely there must be some stock, right? They sell the stock and they purchase the stock. So here is also they sell the stock. You can call it as their products, or you can call it as SKUs. From the stores they will sell, right? And if you go to the returns, the same SKUs they will get. When it comes to the sales, one more thing also, whom they sell these items to the customers, right? Customer. When it comes to the purchases, the supplier information they will store. Supplier they will store. And when it comes to the employee salaries, employees data they will maintain, and their salaries. All this data they maintain in this OLTP system, because employee salaries at least monthly once it happens, right? And and when it comes to the purchases, every day may happen, sales every day may happen, returns every day may happen, and employee salaries definitely will happen in the every month. So all these transactions regularly, whatever the transactions happens with the business, that system generally we call it as OLTP system. Say this system, suppose you are using for uh, every day you are using, right? For every 30 days or 60 days, you will get lot of data. Here, lot of information you will store. So data is coming, data is storing here. Sometimes what happens when suppose one user is there, one customer is there, he is purchasing at the same time other user is also there, he is also purchasing. Now the retailer, he is checking the stock information. Okay, the stock information also will be retrieved from the same system. This is a OLTP system, so stock information also we are storing here only. So this system now has to process for the reading the data also. They need to check the stock first, right? They need to check the stock, then they will deliver. Of course, every day they check the stock. But what happens, this system is it means the data volume keep on getting increased day by day in this system. Actually, the data is not required for them to store in this OLTP system, because say suppose today transactions completed. Tomorrow I want to see that yesterday's previous day transactions. Why do I need to store the data here? If I store my past data at some other place, that would be useful for me. Because anyhow, this test system I do not use regularly for to look into my past data. I don't want to use this system because this is everyday online transaction processing system. Just I want to maintain my transactions. I will tell you simple example. I will tell you. Okay, say uh, suppose here is a table. Okay, this table I want to maintain only for today transactions. And here is one more table I am maintaining. This table I maintain only for the history. History in the sense, okay, today transactions completed. Okay, I will take all the today transactions to this table. The next day, again the current date, I will maintain the data here. The previous date, I will push the data to this table. So that what happens, this system, everyday transaction system, will increase its performance to read the data because less number of records, right? Less number of records are here. We store less number of records in this system. It means in this system, in the sense, this is OLTP system. Here we are talking of only one table. In this OLTP system, there may be number of tables that deals with different type of operations, right? So that's why whatever we discussed here, this is the current day transaction system. This is the history data. The same way here is also OLTP system we maintain. Here one more system we maintain. Sorry, one more system we maintain here. This is to store the historical data. Historical data in the sense, whatever the data, current date, once day passed, the next day we store all the previous data to this table. Table in the sense system. System is here multiple tables joined with joins. Okay. So here we maintain all the historical data. Here we maintain historical data. So that I can see much improvement in the performance of the OLTP system. Readability main and writability. This is OLTP system is reading and writing, right? You need to look into the stock when the customer comes to you. You need to look into the stock whether stock is there or not. That is nothing but reading the data. Now customer transactions you are entering into the system. That is writing the data. So reading and writing both are enabled in the OLTP system, right? So this system will perform two type of actions: reading and writing. So reading, as I said, like we if we maintain less number of records in this OLTP system, then the readability will be the performance of readability will be much higher, right? When comparing with the maintaining the volume of data more in this OLTP. That is the reason every day, end of the day, you maintain your data to the other system, push all the data to the other system. So this is called historical. I mean, we maintain history in this system. In technically, this system is called OLAP system, Online Analytical Processing System. We call it as Online Analytical Processing System. So analytical, it means this system generally we use only for the analysis purpose, not the writing. Whatever the transactions are here, just to take them and push the transactions to this OLAP system. You store your historical data in the OLAP system. Say yesterday, what is my transactions? What are my purchases? 2 years back, what are my purchases? Last year, what are my purchases? Or last month, what are my sales? Last month, what are my returns or employee salaries? Everything available in this OLAP system. Here you decide how much of data you want to maintain, you want to move from OLTP to OLAP. You will decide here. Hey, just only 1 year data I maintain in OLTP system. Rest of all the data I maintain in OLAP system. Or just last 6 months data I maintain in OLTP system. Rest of all the data I move to the OLAP system. So this is the call. This system is called data warehouse system. We are maintaining all the data in this system. So this is what data warehouse. Why do you need the data warehouse? First of all, we need to understand why I should maintain my data in the separate system. That system is called generally technically OLAP system. We maintain all our historical data in the OLAP system. That is data warehouse system. How we design the data warehouse system? That is the different matter. Different technologies we use and different products are there in the market. As I said, like SAP data warehouse, Microsoft data warehouse, Oracle data warehouse. So different tech products are there. But first we need to understand the concept of data warehouse. Why do we need this kind of systems? Okay, now let us understand OLAP system. This is what our focus is on, right? Data warehouse. This is our focus. As I said, like there is OL TP system is also there, right? But this is online transaction processing system. We have taken four departments: purchases and sales and returns and employees. So these are all the transactions we have taken. In fact, if you take very bigger organization or MNCs, if you take any MNCs or retail chains, very bigger retail chains, right? They will have lot of information, thousands of millions of records. Every day they enter into the systems. So these million records they need to keep at some place for their analytical purposes. That's the reason we are maintaining OLTP and OLAP systems. That's what we discussed. Now, in this data warehouse system, generally what they do every day. Every day, what they need to do, generally what they do, whatever the data comes, the data will be stored in the table formats. Say suppose customer, right? In the OLTP, you sell, one sales department is there. The sales department will sell to the customers. So, whom you sold your products, that customer data you will maintain in separate table. So that this customer data you store in the OLAP system. Now you are purchasing different type of materials from the suppliers. What you are purchasing? Materials you are purchasing, and you are purchasing suppliers. Sorry, you are purchasing from the suppliers. Okay, so this material information also you need to store here, and supplier information also you need to store there. Not only that, suppose let us take one example like retail chain, retail stores. Okay, retail chain. Let us take this shop. This retail chain is having, let's say, suppose. Uh, Wait, my battery is. Excuse me. Say retail chain. Suppose if you take, so you can understand retail chain easily, right? So hundred stores are there. 100 stores are there. Sorry. So you will have store information also. You want to see the store information also, right? Sorry. So here 100 stores you maintain, suppose. So as I said, like customers, stores, and suppliers, and materials, what else, and employees you will have, right? What else you will have? Yeah, let us take only these five. Okay, so these are all the things you will have, right? So customers will sell your products, so that how much you sell, what discount you give, what date you will sell. So date is also important, or time. Okay, so what date you sold to them, and how much of discount you given. So this all information is stored against the customer. Now when it comes to the store, where is your store located? Where is your store located? How much of square feet it is? How much of rent it is? Okay. Who is store manager? How many employees are working in the store? So this is all the information you maintain in your store related table, right? If you take the supplier information, like what is his name, supplier name, what is his GST, where he is located, what is his contact number, phone number, or other information, any other information you can maintain. The same thing, material, right? What type of material it is, you can categorize the material, whether it is the beverages or food items or grocery, what kind of material it is. So you can categorize the material and its mm, and its properties you can describe. The same thing for the employee also. So here with data warehouse concepts, with data warehouse perspective, we call every one is object. We consider everything as the object because the customer, technically we call it as the object, because object, if it is the object you can describe, right? Any object you can describe. So customer is having some description, which location he belongs to, what is his contact number, what is his phone number. So like that, right? In the same way, store is also an object. We consider it as the object because it is also having some additional information. The same thing for the supplier, material, employee. So in the software, generally we consider objects. We consider something as an object if that something is having kind of description. Sorry, something in the sense, any item you take, if you are able to describe it, it is nothing but an object in the software. If you take computer, you can describe it, right? What is its height, what is its weight, what is its thickness, what is its color, how much of uh, hard disk, how much of RAM, everything you describe. Without describing, you cannot say that is the object if you cannot describe it. So in software, we consider this one as the object, everything as the object. So in SAP also, the customer, store, supplier, these are all the objects we consider. If you are familiar with any programming languages, in programming languages also, we take the object. Class is an object. Simply in the Java and other languages, we say class is an object. Class is nothing but combination of these items and their properties. Right? The same way in SAP also, we call these all this as objects. Whether it is the OLTP system or OLAP system, in any system we call them as objects. Especially with the data warehouse perspective, especially we call them objects. Now let us talk of functionality. Okay, functionality is here. As I said, like every day they load in the sense they copy data. They copy data from OLAP to, sorry, OLTP to OLAP system. Every day they need to maintain because this is the history, right? This is the historical data. This is OLTP. This is everyday transactions, daily transactions. Simply you can say daily transactions. This is general activity, right? So you can say like sometimes you need to change your records because today they have done suppose some wrong entry they may enter. They need to correct it. Or today customer has purchased two transactions. Suppose one transaction by mistake you entered two transactions even though he did only one purchase. Then you need to correct it. This one. Okay. So you need to correct and again you need to send to the OLAP. This is one more action, right? So when you are sending these one transaction now, previously there two transactions. Now you are sending only one transaction you have cancelled and one transaction you are sending to the OLAP system. So here we are talking of only the actions generally the business will perform in their daily business business operations, right? So this is the one thing, right? And as I said, like purchases department is there. We discussed it, right? Sales department is there. If you consider the big organizations, they will have different departments, right? Purchases department, sales department, and stores department. For the only stores, there is one department. Suppose for employees, one department. So different departments will be there, right? So if you consider every department as a source, because you will get the data from every department, right? Every department you will consider a source to the OLAP, not to the OLTP. This all the departments are sourced to the OLAP system. So you will get data from purchases, you will get data from sales, you will get data from stores, you will get data from employees. How do you get this data? You need to load every day. You need to copy this data from here to OLAP system every day. So this is the another activity, right? This one is another activity. So total three activities we have discussed so far. Two and three. One is copy data, that is the one, and another one is transactions. Cancel the transactions, again copy, then everyday loading. Copy is not the one activity, right? The second transaction and I mean second process and third process. From different source systems, you are copying the data to this one. So these kind of activities every day you need to they will perform, business will perform. So to to complete this kind of processes, okay, to complete these kind of processes, the data warehouse softwares will give us different functionalities in the softwares. So as I said, like suppose if you are familiar with MySQL or any database system, generally what we do, okay, for the purchases we create one table, right? And sales we create one more table, and stores we create one more table, and employees we create one more table. Or I will erase and I will explain you in the another board. Here I will draw. Okay, this is the employee table. First you create. Here you maintain all your employees data. Employees data in the sense only employees name, their ID, their address, their phone number, their email, and everything you maintain here. Okay, and what you do in MySQL or SQL tables, Here you maintain their salary information, right? This is salary table. Here you maintain employee ID, and here you can maintain salary, DA, TA. I mean salary in the sense basic. Other allowances, you maintain all the things here. So here your employee ID is connected with this table, right? So what happens then whenever you want to read the salary information of employee, you can read employee information also. Employee information also you can read from this table. Employee information. If you need only the employee information, you can read employee information, or if you want to read employee salary information also, you can read it, because already you have connected these two tables by using the foreign key and primary key relationship, right? The same thing happens to the purchase department also, right? Say all the suppliers data you maintain here. Supplier information you keep here. Now supplier transactions. From each supplier, how much, what are the materials you are buying, and material information also you can maintain a separate table, right? Here material information you can maintain. So which supplier is, from which supplier you are buying the material, that information you can maintain, and material price you can maintain here, right? Material price also you can maintain here. So if you go to the SQL database, you can see different tables, and you need to map, you need to join these tables literally. Foreign key, primary key relationships, everything you need to maintain in the system, in the data, in the DB, right? Whether it is a SQL, my MS SQL, or MySQL, or Oracle, you create different tables for each object and the transactions like this you create. Now here employer and sales and supplier, material and transaction, there is no relation between these tables. You see, say suppose your employer is salesperson, he is nothing but salesperson. Suppose the salesperson, how much sales he has done, that information only it will give, but it won't give this salesperson what kind of materials he sold. Will it? Sorry. Yeah. So here, let us take salary. Okay, employee salaries. Here I am taking one more table. Suppose. So this gives the salary information. So employees, this is the salary information. Already we have maintained this one, right? Okay. Yeah. Instead of salaries, let us take customer. Here is the customer information. Suppose this customer, he is buying some items from the retail store, so that customer is connected with the material, because we know what kind of materials he is buying. Not the material table, let us take some customer transactions table. Let us take here, this is customer transactions. Okay, So customer connected with the customer transactions. Now we know customer what kind of material he is buying. But I want to read the material information. So what I need to do, this material again I need to join with this material table. See, if you if you want to maintain your own data warehouse system, or if you want to design your own data warehouse system, these many joins, these many tables you need to create, and these many joins you have to maintain manually in your data warehouse system, right? To build your own data warehouse system, these many joins, these many tables you have to create literally. That's why the data warehouse products came into picture. These data warehouse products came into picture. They will deliver the objects with relations. You no need to create any object. Sorry, you no need to create any tables, any joins. You just create object. Suppose you go here, you log into the system, data warehouse system. Hey, create material, and material ID, and material description, and material category. These are the fields I have. Now you create one table for me. We will tell to the system. Then system will take care of creating the table in the backend. Then we define what kind of properties this table should have. Those table settings we maintain. So now what is the advantage of using the data warehouse system instead of building our own data warehouse? We can create the objects easily. We can maintain the data easily. The system will take care of building the relations automatically behind the tables, behind the objects, not the tables, behind the objects. It will build the relations. That's why we need data warehouse system. I mean, customers they prefer to use data warehouse system so that once they start to use these systems, they just create the objects and they group together all these objects in one container. The system will take care of creating the joins based on the IDs. Okay, so in the coming session, I will come up with more concepts in the data warehouse side. Okay, hope you understand it. Thank you. Thanks for watching.